What's good, y'all? Right in front of me here, I got 10 pounds of delicious brisket. And in this video, I'm gonna show you how to prep it, how to cut it, season it, and eventually we're gonna bring it outside because I'm gonna show you how to smoke it. This is my favorite barbecue in the whole world, and I'm gonna share the way I do it with you. So step one is to always choose a good cut of meat. And right over here, I've chosen prime. I chose prime over all the other cuts because this is the one that's always consistently good, and it always has the highest quality of marble on the meat. Just look at that beauty right there. Barely any fat, barely any trimming to be done. But that doesn't mean we're gonna not trim. We still gonna trim, but always go with USDA prime. So one of the first steps that we want to do is we want to go ahead and trim this brisket. We want to get rid of all this fat cap that you see here. You see that right there. The reason why we want to do this is we want to make sure that this brisket gets an even cook and that the fat renders evenly. And if we have a fat cap that's about this thick, then it ain't gonna render that evenly. So let's see if we can go ahead and cut this big piece out here. And always have a really good knife to cut this fat. The next step is to season our brisket. You want this brisket to pack all kinds of flavors. If it's not already come from the meat, the seasoning will definitely help elevate it. After all, who wants a bland brisket? I don't. For the seasoning, right now what I'm using is Salt Lick Dry Rub. Salt Lick is a really good barbecue restaurant that's over near Round Rock, Texas in the Austin area. And I love their barbecue, so I'm guessing and I reckon and I testify that this rub is actually really good. So right now we are gonna start from, I would say let's start from the fat side up. Okay, and we're just gonna start from the flat here. We're just gonna let it go. Okay, and what I like to do is I like to pat it down just a little. It's called a rub, right? Just rub it down. I just like to pat it in there. Okay. And once you get that patted in there, you also want to look on the sides too. Another thing that I like to do, and I'll show it to you once I flip it over. Flip. One thing I like to do is, on the sides here, I like to just go like this with my hand and cup it. So that way I can get onto the sides like that. And it's on the sides. So let's go ahead and cover this whole thing. Just a nice little sprinkle. Now remember, you don't want to overdo it, but you definitely want to well season the brisket. Okay, and that should be enough here. Let's go ahead and start rubbing her in. right, and once you get that seasoning on there, make sure she sits for about 2 to 3 hours. Some people can do it overnight. In this cook, we're gonna do about 2 to 3 hours, and we'll see how it is. And this thing looks well seasoned. Alright guys, so for today's cook, we're gonna be using my offset smoker that I've been using for years. She is well seasoned. Anything that comes out of her is extremely delicious. And today, we're gonna be using some mesquite charcoal and some mesquite wood. Of course, I prefer oak. However, mesquite does do a job pretty good, and it gives your meat a certain taste. So let's heat up this smoker and let's get to work. Alright, I have all my charcoal here loaded into the charcoal starter, so we're gonna go ahead and light this sucker up. And by my guesstimation, it should take maybe about 30 something minutes for this to light up. So once these coals start burning hot, then we're gonna pour the coals into this little chamber here, and that's gonna be our firebox. Alright guys, so the next thing we're gonna be doing is we are going to be creating our own mop sauce. And what is a mop sauce, you ask? It is what will keep our brisket moist. So right now I have 3 different products here. I have apple cider vinegar, I have Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, and of course the one that really makes my brisket special, Dr. Pepper. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna take a bottle here, and this bottle is pretty special. It comes with its own mop brush thingy, and it goes on top of it. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put some apple cider vinegar, and I like to do it like this. I like to put probably 1/5 of the bottle with apple cider vinegar. It's about 1/4, but it should be good enough. And then on top of that, that's when I put my Sweet Baby Ray's sauce. And about that much should do it. And then this is where it really kicks it up. Dr. Pepper. I want to drink it. Oh, it smells so good. All right, so we pour that in the little mop sauce here. And I pour it until it gets to about 1/4 of the way of the bottle. I do it 1/4 of the way because if I go all the way, then the soda is gonna actually make this bubble up, and you don't want the contents of this amazing mop to come outside your bottle. All right, so it's there. Shake it up just a little. Alright, that should be enough, and this content should be pretty well mixed. And right now I'm gonna go ahead and check on the coals if they're burning. As you can see, these coals are burning. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put these coals in the fire pit, and make sure you be safe about this. You wanna wear flame retardant gloves like these, and overall you just don't wanna burn your arms. So let's go ahead and do it very carefully. Grab the handle and slowly, very slowly, pour the fire into the firebox. Here she goes. And there she is. She is in the firebox. Let all the sparks come out. Place that there. And close the firebox. Close the lid. And we are gonna wait until this thermometer right here, till the temperature reads 205. Also, while those coals are still hot, now would be a good time to go ahead and start putting your smoking chunks in there, because what this wood is going to do is it's going to speed up the fire process. So I'm going to put about 3 chunks of wood in here, and let's let that catch on fire. So the grill right now is over at about 225, and that's exactly where I want it actually. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the meat in. Now that the grill is hot, we're gonna go ahead and place the brisket. So remember, we are doing fat side down today. We are keeping the marble side up, and we wanna make that point face towards the fire, and the flat here face more towards the smokestack. So let's go ahead and put her on. Alright, she's now on the grill. Let's go ahead and even her out just a bit here so that she gets a nice even cook. And this is really important, guys. Make sure she's not too close to the fire, because what's gonna happen is that fire will end up burning her. So make sure she's not too close, and let's go ahead and close the lid. And I'm not gonna open this sucker for another 2 hours. See you in 2 hours. What's up, guys? We are about 2 hours into our cook, and right now I'm gonna go ahead and open up the lid of the smoker, and we're gonna see what the brisket looks like. All right, so let's see what she looks like. All right, she's forming a little bark here and there. Notice the point kind of curled up there a bit. That's good, that's a good sign. So what we're gonna do now is, since we're about 2 hours in, we're gonna go ahead and start applying our mop, the one that we made earlier, right here. So let's go ahead and start with the point. We're just gonna brush it on there. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna keep our brisket moist. We want as much moisture on our brisket here as possible. And we wanna go for those little dry patch areas right there. And like I said, a little more on the point there. Looking good, looking good, looking good. And on the sides as well. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go add more fire, aka more wood to the fire. And then we're gonna open this back up in another 2 hours. Stay tuned. Alright, y'all, so we are about 5 hours into this cook. So let's see how this brisket is looking. Okay. So I am definitely seeing some bark color there, and that is good. Is this brisket ready for a wrap though? That's the question. Let's check some temps. Alright. And this brisket is currently at its stall because it's reading about 165. So for this wrap, I'm gonna be using butcher paper, and we're gonna wrap this sucker up, we're gonna keep her tight, and we're gonna throw her back on the grill. So we wanna pack her up like this, and we'll just do a very simple method. Flip. All right, make her tight, straighten her out, and then one more flip. And then one fold down here on the edges. Make sure she's tight. And one thing that I like to do to prevent drippage is I like to get one of these pans here, and I put them on the pan. All right, now come follow me. Then we put her back on the grill. And then we'll come back to it. We are about 9 hours into the cook of this 10-pound brisket. And so far, this is the wrap. And what we're gonna do is we are going to check the temperature on it. So I'm gonna insert my probe here in my little probe spot. And also we're gonna see if this will go through it like butter. Let's see. Oh wow, that went right through it. And we are getting a temperature reading of 150, 160, 170. And take note that this is in the point end of the brisket. What I'm looking for is above 190. If it goes above 190, that tells me that it is time to take it out. It's going up. It's almost there. Yes, it went above 190. Alright guys, so this part right here is called the resting period. We have the brisket here, and I've already probed it, and it's reading about 200 degrees Fahrenheit on both the flat and the point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it rest, and we're going to place it here in this cooler. And we'll let it rest here for about an hour with the lid closed. Alright guys, so what you're looking at here is the finished product of the brisket. This was over 10 to 11 hours of labor, and man does this stuff look delicious. Let's go ahead and carve into it, shall we? So right now we are going to start off by carving the flat side of the brisket. And this is where you're gonna get those lean cuts. So first thing I wanna do is I wanna cut these burnt ends off. Ooh, that slid right through it, holy crap. Ooh, look at that, look at that. This is gonna start looking good, guys. So you wanna cut that part off. And I'm just gonna cut against the grain here. There we go, right against the grain. And we're gonna keep carving. And y'all see that, right? Y'all see all that juice and all that fat right there. Man, this looks delicious, guys. That's that prime cut right there. We're gonna get rid of this burnt end right here. Quick here. Comes right apart. I think I'm gonna eat this piece right here. Look at that. Mmm. Oh, that's good. And I don't know if y'all can see it, but y'all can see the smoke ring right there. That's the good stuff right there. That's how you know that smoke penetrated it right. Hey, look at that. Like butter. Butter, butter, butter. Let's cut this in half right here. And right here, we got the point. So let's go ahead and start carving this one up.
This is that once in a lifetime.
That there. And we want to cut the rest of this up. So these are right here. These are all burnt ends. And we like to save those for anything. You always want your burnt ends. So yeah, that is the brisket. I hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial, and hopefully you can go out there and barbecue some yourselves. You don't have to go to Rudy's or any other restaurant at all. You can just do this yourselves if you follow these instructions. I'm gonna go ahead and try a piece. Let's see how it tastes. All right, guys, I'm here to try a piece. So let's see what we got. Let's try it. It just melts right in my mouth. So good. Oh my god. If you're on my area, guys, you gotta come out and try this. Y'all have a good night. Take care.